remembered that day when Julia and I made up our minds we were through paying money to landlords and we were going to build our own home. Easier said than done. We had to scrimp and save every penny to get the money needed for a down payment on a new home.
I painted my nails blue for summer. Days are longer, nights are humid, and the ocean's tides are high amidst hurricane season. Crime has gotten worse in the area I live in. Politicians and people in power are standing trial. Presidential debates have already begun, and yet my mind is on other things. This all-American dream seems so far out of reach. I wanted to be a writer, a poet, an artist, all of the things that seem impossible to make a living off of. Now, I just want a home of my own, to live comfortably with the man I love and to not have to work so hard just to survive. My boyfriend and I work 2 jobs and donate plasma twice a week. With the increase of the cost of living, inflation is high and the middle class feels practically non-existent. Every morning before work, I drink stale gas station coffee. Sometimes it's so burnt that not even creamer could save it. I get anxiety at grocery stores, not just because I'm worried about going over my budget or that I might not have enough to make a meal, but because I'm also paranoid that a shooting could take place while I'm buying milk and bread. I remember summers as a kid, going to the beach and spending hours in a swimming pool. I remember how carefree youth felt. In 3 months, I'll be turning 27. I dropped out of school and settled for a career that can just barely get me by. Sometimes I wonder what younger me would think if she could see my life now. I used to love summertime. I used to love a lot of things. I don't want many things these days, I just want to be comfortable. I understand that there are people in this country that have it harder than I do, and that there are other people in the world and other countries that have it worse. I don't want much. I just want to live a life that I'm content with. Baby, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
In our own goddamn place. And at least being able to live.
Do you think that's hard with how the economy is right now with inflation and everything, or?
Shit.
Huh?
Yeah, it's extremely hard.
What else do you want in 5 years besides our own place?
Us to make it through.
Huh?
Us to make it all the way through.
To make it through?
Yep.
You want to own a home one day?
One day. Maybe a few years. Maybe in 5-10 years.
You don't want to get married and have kids, have babies?
Eventually.
Eventually? So in my last video, I mentioned that my boyfriend and I moved to New York and that it did not work out very well up there, and things ended sort of sour with my mother and I. So we moved back to Florida and we've been staying with my dad for a while now. Update, my boyfriend and I are currently looking for apartments down here in Florida. A month before my boyfriend and I moved to upstate New York, I mentioned that I dropped out of school. Well, I was about a semester away from getting my associates. So I dropped out right before I got my associates. And for those who don't know, if you're new here, or even if you have been watching me and just never heard me mention this before, I was in school to pursue an English major. I wanted to major in English. I wanted to get my English major. I originally wanted to have a career in either freelance writing or investigative journalism, and if that didn't work out, I was going to be an English teacher. And you know what they say, those who can't do teach. But anyway, I dropped out of college before I could even get my associates. So that means that I don't have my associates or my English major that I'd been working so hard for. And I took classes like English Comp 1 and 2, a creative writing course, introduction to literature. Like, I was really doing well in school. And it's not like I threw it all away for a man. I threw it all away because life happened. So what I ended up doing was taking an online course, and now I have a CNA certificate, and I do home health aid work, and I'm an independent contractor, and I make semi-decent money. So that's what I do. I take care of the elderly. I clean up their houses. I do grocery shopping for them. I cook for them. I meal prep, make sure they take their meds, and I also do incontinence care. And if you aren't familiar with incontinence care, it's just helping assist with activities such as using the restroom or bathing. But it's not like I dropped out of school and worked fast food, and even if I did, there's nothing wrong with that. I've worked plenty of fast food jobs. I've worked plenty of jobs that some people would consider shitty. Investigative journalism and like freelance writing for articles online, writing for magazines, writing for newspapers, it's a competitive field, and it's also a job that a lot of people don't really do anymore. I mean, there's still writers out there, but it's just really difficult to make a living off of being a writer nowadays. I've been posting on this channel for 2 years now, consistently, and I gotta say, social media is not for the weak.
And go there to make him look ahead.
Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Mom.
You off today?
No, I'm actually on a lunch break right now.
Oh,
How's your day going?
it just started. Literally.
About the same with me.
Yep.
I'm really proud of you, Mom. The house is really coming along nice from the photos that you sent me.
I know, thank you.
How's the weather up in New York?
It's a little bit better today, but we're headed back for strong winds and storms tomorrow.
Well, just be
How's the
careful.
weather?
What?
How's the weather there?
The weather in Florida is, as usual, very hot, rainy.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I'd call you on my break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, I hope you have a good day, Mom. I hope you make good money on Instacart.
You too. Oh, are you getting the car
Today.
today?
Yep.
Alright, well that's good.
But I don't know. Hopefully when I can get some free time and I'm not working like a dog, maybe I can come up there and visit you and see the house one day.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Alright, Mom. I love you.
Alright, I love you too.
Bye, Mom.
Alright, bye.
Like a month after my boyfriend and I moved back to Florida, my mom reached out to me to apologize just about how she treated him and how she treated me, how she treated us. I apologized to her too because we had some words before I left. Things between my mother and I are good again, and we're trying to rebuild our relationship after everything that happened last year. Okay, so I just clocked out. I'm leaving my first client of the day, and I'm currently trying to catch the bus to my second client of the day.
In 1,000 feet.
$10 is not bad.
Damn, I gotta get gas. That was good. We're definitely heading all the way to Vieira. Frustrating. Let me know.
Come on. Okay, Those were a lot of stairs.
7473. That's 20.
Early in the mornings when I found you, yeah, I hit you like what you say. In the mornings when I want you, yeah, I hit you like what you say. I could you all the time.
See how he opened the door for me? You saw how he opened the door for me?
Yeah.
How come you don't do that?
I do that.
For a second to look.
Would you want to live in this?
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck how nice the houses are. I don't want to be in a neighborhood where I feel like I'm going to get lost. This is just, it feels like a lonely place to live in, or like a lonely place to grow up in. But who knows, maybe like the neighborhood's like a tight-knit community, you know what I mean?
It's one of those communities that most people are like, the hell with it. But that's because it's one of those snob areas, okay? It's a snob area.
Sabrina Carpenter right there with Please, Please, Please at number 3.
So my boyfriend and I just got home from door dashing. I have a job, he has a job, and then when we're not working those jobs, we are literally working for DoorDash just to make some extra money. And when we're not door dashing, we're donating plasma. So between door dashing and donating plasma and working our regular everyday 9-to-5s, we're just so exhausted trying to catch up.
I can't live off this shit. I can't no more.
So my boyfriend is thinking about going back to his old job as a delivery driver, a truck driver, because he has his CDL, so his orders, the orders that he deliver wouldn't be out of state, so he would still come home to me every night. It would definitely pay better than the job that he has now, and we probably wouldn't have to donate plasma or DoorDash as much. It just really gets to me because, like, tonight was really slow working for DoorDash, and a lot of the customers that we delivered to, a lot of the houses and the apartments that we went to were so nice, and these people had all this money and tipped us like shit. I mean, we were lucky if we got a $2 tip, if that. One of the customers we delivered to, he had ordered a pizza and a 2-liter of root beer, and he requested that we handed him the order in person, so I thought to myself, maybe he's gonna tip us in cash. And I handed him the order, as he stood outside of his really nice, very large house. And he said, "Thank you, have a good night." And I said, "You're welcome, have a good night." I guess maybe looks can be deceiving. I guess a lot of people, especially in America, don't know how to live below their means. So just because someone lives in a nice house doesn't mean their financial situation is as nice as it seems. My hair has gotten a lot longer since I cut it a year ago. I cut it in summer of last year and I gave myself bangs, and it was like cute for a second, and then I really regretted it after. But I was going through a weird depression. But the depressive episode I was going through then is a lot different than the one I'm going through now. Since getting our car, we've had many issues with it. Our starter, hydraulic pump, 2 blown tires, a blown head gasket, and a radiator needing to be replaced. Did I forget something? Oh yeah, we also had to pay for an oil change. We've had this car for 6 months and have invested thousands of dollars in it. To be fair, it was a used older vehicle when we bought it. I guess you could say my boyfriend and I are on a first name basis with our mechanic. So in the past couple of months, I've read a total of 2 books. One was an audiobook, and the other was an actual book in the flesh. The audiobook, which was the first book I read, was The Woman in Me by Britney Spears.
At the beginning of the conservatorship, I was overwhelmed with doctor appointments. Doctor after doctor after doctor, probably 12 doctors a week, coming to my home.
Maybe it would be brazen of me to consider myself a writer, but I write in a journal pretty much every day. I like to write poetry, I like to write prose, I like to, write about experiences in my life, and occasionally I like to dabble with fiction. But I found it hard as a writer to really hone in on my craft and stay true to my own creative integrity, because nowadays people just don't read as much as they used to. In today's age of social media and technology, people are more likely to listen to an audiobook than they are to read an actual novel. I was always the person that just would rather read a book than listen to an audiobook. Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, was something that I had been looking forward to reading for months. So when she released her novel, her memoir, I took it upon myself to download it on Audible. I was in a dark place in my life when I downloaded The Woman in Me and listened to it. I wanted to hear Britney tell her story in her own words. Now, Britney really only reads the introduction. The rest is read by Michelle Williams, who did a fantastic job. I think she's a brilliant actress, and I think she did the memoir justice, being the sole narrator. I've always been a fan of Britney Spears since I was young. She's pretty much one of the only pop stars, the few pop stars, that I've always had a deep affinity and love for. Listening to this audiobook just tore me apart. In a lot of ways, she talks about her relationships. She talks about her abusing Adderall, her going out, her going through an abortion, her going through terrible relationships, her finding love. But she also talks about the conservatorship. She also talks about the struggles of being a mother of two, a young mother of two, and growing up in the public eye. And I think The Woman in Me is so interesting for a title because in a lot of ways she talks about how she's felt like she's almost age regressed, like reverted back into being a little girl. But in a lot of ways she had to also grow up at a young age. The second and most recent book that I've read within the last couple of months is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh. Chapter 1. Whenever I woke up, night or day, I'd shuffle through the bright marble foyer of my building and go up the block and around the corner where there was a bodega that never closed. I'd get 2 large coffees with cream and 6 sugars each. Chug the first one in the elevator on the way back up to my apartment, then sip the second one slowly while I watched movies and ate animal crackers and took Trazodone and Ambien and Nembutal until I fell asleep again. I lost track of time in this way. Days passed, weeks, a few months went by. When I thought of it, I ordered delivery from the Thai restaurant across the street or a tuna salad platter from the diner on First Avenue. I'd wake up to find voice messages on my cell phone from salons or spas confirming appointments I'd booked in my sleep. I always called back to cancel, which I hated doing because I hated talking to people. This book had me laughing at things that I felt I shouldn't be laughing at. There's a lot of unlikable characters in this novel, especially female unlikable characters, which I can respect.
Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
So if Biden goes, there's not going to be a groundswell of anything. It's going to be relief. Okay? Then it's how to do it. How do you do it? Because they don't have anybody to go to. They don't want Kamala Harris. Her poll numbers are worse than Biden's. Okay? Newsom wants it out in California, but he's run that state into the ground.
I'm sorry. Am I going?
continue.
Baby, guess what?
No fucking way!
Hey, I gotta say it 50 million times.
Abraham fucking Lincoln. I think this is our first cash tip, right?
It is our first cash tip.
Now see, this is what I mean. When a customer says, hand the order to me, usually it means they're tipping you. Listen to my goddamn... Do I make you happy?
Yeah.
You think we're gonna be okay?
We're gonna be fine.
I want my life back.
So do I.
I want life to feel good again. I always get sad when I see people like on the street holding signs because I feel like I want to help, you know?
Right?
Every time I start to feel sorry for myself, I see somebody on the street holding a sign and I'm like, maybe I need to stop complaining about my problems, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but think about it, you know, half the time that most of these people are on the street too because of stuff
that doesn't mean that they don't still deserve compassion.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying some. I'm not saying all. There are some.
Even the ones that
ended up in the wrong place wrong time. Then there are some that they don't even know how they got there.
Yeah, some people are victims of their circumstance and some people got themselves there, but it doesn't make it any less sad.
I know.
Babe, look, that's a food pantry. Do you remember the food pantry plate, the church that would give us free food in New York? You don't got stuff like that down here.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but not like that. Those groceries that they gave us at the food.
Some name brand. These ones out here.
Yeah.
These ones out here are kind of like.
Upstate New York had a way better food pantry than the food pantries down here.
Your destination will be on the right.
Because down here they give you like the rice. So past the stop sign.
That more like an apartment complex. I don't know where the hell.
It looks like a hotel.
Maybe we just have to go in. You know, no fucking car.
Okay, so I guess take the phone. Just be careful, please. Okay?
Okay, apartment 224.
Do you care if I step out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's a little song I want everybody to listen to. It's talking about love and it's talking about hate. You know, I think the only way we're gonna do away with hate is to get so much love going around till there just won't be any more hate. There's so much hate going on today on the right and on the left. You see, we hate our brothers, yes we do, and we hate our own self. There's even hate going on today between the young folks and the old. Can't you see all this hate is really eating up our very soul? That's why I'm
I've been writing journals since before I can remember. I have a collection of my thoughts in each journal from each year, documenting experiences, documenting how I felt or my thoughts. My journals are my therapy. Writing is my therapy. Every time I get off work, I just think about the people I take care of, and they remind me of these like paternal figures that I didn't have. I take care of this one older woman who is about my grandmother's age if she was still alive. I never knew my maternal grandfather because he was an alcoholic and he was abusive. I had a step grandfather who was a pedophile, and he molested me. And he was married to my maternal grandmother, my mom's mom, and she knew what her husband did and never did anything to stop it or keep him away from our family. And I was never close to my grandmother on my mom's side. Well, she died about a year after COVID broke out, when I was like 23, 24. And she's been gone now for almost 3 years. My grandmother on my dad's side passed away when I was 6. So I never got to know her. The only grandparent that I have that's even alive is my dad's dad. So my grandfather on my dad's side. But I can count on one hand how many times I've actually spoken to him or seen him. So I never really had like a grandma or a grandpa. And there's like this trope of like, you go to grandma's house and she bakes you cookies. She takes care of you when your parents can't. And I think when I started working as a caregiver, it kind of made me think like that I never had that. And I never talk about it. I never took the time to sit in front of my camera and talk about it, let alone have the balls to put it on the internet. Because everybody's got trauma. Mine is no different, no better or no worse than someone else's, but I feel like I got robbed of a childhood that I should have maybe had or wanted. The client that I worked for today, she just thanked me for taking care of her. And it made me feel like I was doing the right thing for once in my life, that I was actually a decent fucking human being for a change, because I've done some things I'm just not proud of.
She grew up half Dakota, half Louisiana, pastor child, all of us digital, wait, that sounds like, from a little trend to begin. Now you think you really gon' pretend like you wasn't down and called him again. Plus when you give it up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of faces. Oh hell, I even fuck with different races. A white dude, his name was John. He had a Queen Bee Rules tattoo on his arm. He asked me if I'd be his day for the prom, and he could buy me a horse, a Porsche, and a farm. Fights in the yard, hotter than a Pop-Tart, fresh out of the toaster. Niggas do anything for a little Kim poster. Essays, Bloods, Crips, all of the.
Embarrassing moment on stage. I did not remember this monitor being there on the floor. Rip my britches. Let's show my...
A natural disaster or the intentional action of others can threaten the hour. Your dignity hangs in the balance.
Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's a problem.
Okay, so if we go by the mall, chances are we'll make more money. Because usually the mall area is the hot zone, is what I'm thinking. Do you mind if I stare at it just to make sure that...
You pick a McDouble? Eating isn't good.
Experts sifted through the rubble to find the highly sought-after rough diamonds. Then experts...
Right there. Right, that's fucking scary right here.
Are these apartments or condos?
They're condos.
Condos? They all look the same.
Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like a good move.
They were so nice. So I had me confirm it twice for.
$16.91.
Your destination.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
And a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of this with any purchase of $1 or more on the McDonald's app.
Babe, are you seeing this? These are some rich fuckers. They got money, bro. Look at this. I don't think I've ever lived in a house this big. I don't even think I've ever seen a house this big before. We're looking for, hold on. Yeah, hold on.
You're making me twiddle on a foot. And I'm like, it's that hot.
American dream is hard to catch, and you keep working till the day you die.